Good morning, one and all, and welcome to Wake Up. It is 9 a.m. GMT, and I am delighted to be here with you. Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am indeed. It's more of a high and bye today, lovely people. It's a very short show because I'm off on a mission, and it's great to see our crazy bunny has returned. Big shout out to our mods, Soul Sound and Crazy Bunny. As I say, it's more of a high and bye today. Welcome to the show that never quits. You know why? Because winners never quit and quitters never win. That's our motto today, or something like that. Oh, yes, indeed. I will be out of here by 10 a.m. Don't hate me. I'm on a mission. Yes, I am. I will report back on Monday, but we're on 9 to 10 today and no guests, just me. And we're going straight through. Blind Hip Shaker already has tea. This is good to hear. Absolutely vital. Good morning to you all. And good morning. Sully Luan says, good morning, everyone. First time I've been able to be here for the live stream. Can't wait. Welcome to you. Welcome him, fam, or she, actually. Sully, are you male or female? Sorry if I've misgendered you. So much to talk about before 10 a.m. Yes, awakened spirit indeed. So I'm not going to hang around, right? Let me see. First of all, Lucy Letby, absolutely no let up for this woman that many people believe is an unsafe conviction. Then we have Arise, Sir Sadiq Khan. I wonder what he has been being put forward for a knighthood for. And what about that pro hit of the healthcare boss? We're going to be talking about that. It's kind of weird. And you know what the next pandemic is, yeah? All you have to see is what vaccines are they currently stockpiling? More on that shortly. And of course, the Bovaer backlash. It's a big one. And I have a list of places that you might be able to shop, or rather, I have a list of places that are currently being boycotted. So it will help you to know where not to go for your milk and your dairy produce. And also, have a quick look at the rainbow Refuseniks, because I think that's quite interesting. And finally, we're going to end on you are the real deal. There is literally no comparison to you. And good morning to you all. Top of the morning, Teresa and Gillian, Mrs. Pirate. Yes, I'm very well. Finally, a Friday. I'm not driving somewhere. Another mission, Merv. There is no holding me back. No. This one has been organized for 3 months. And yes, be careful. They want rid of cows. And this is leading directly to that, says We Fat Shug. Yes, indeed. We need to look at whether the Arla backlash is rather convenient for some. Yes, we do. And London Lady, let's, first of all, I think we have to start off in true style.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
You can't handle the truth.
Good morning, beautiful people. We are live.
The sun is rising, the sky is blue. Good morning, grand risings, let's see what's new. It's the time of day for Sonia and crew. Good morning, grand risings. It's time to wake up with Sonia Poulton. Sonia Poulton, Sonia Poulton.
Good morning, grand risings to you. And of course, thank you to viewer Markson for doing that splendid tune and video for us. Yes, indeed. And London Lady sent us an image of where she watches Wake Up. Let's have a good look at it. London Lady. Is this one of those old kind of Morris Minors? This is like a classic car you've got here, London Lady. And what does London Lady say about that? Says, if you zoom in, you can see the phone and speaker on the dashboard. I'm usually driving to work on a Monday, but I had to park to take this photo. We love it. Yes, we love it. Oh, yes, we do. London Lady has been with me, frankly, since I launched Rise about 4 years ago. Yes, indeed. Lovely to see it, London Lady. I'm loving your car. It looks like a classic. Yes, it does. And look what viewer Trev has done on his 3D printer. How you might not be able to see it properly because I've got lights on it, but how gorgeous is that? If you remember, I think I've got it in the background from me. Trev did a 3D. You probably can't see it now, but he's just done this. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And when the room is dark and you put this on, it is divine. Thank you so much, Trev and Toby. Truly appreciate that. Yes, we do. Oh, yes, we do. Thank you all for purchasing mugs. They'll be in May or Toot Sweet. Lovely Susanna, who is sorting. That is onto it pronto. And well done to our mug winner from Monday, Matt T. Woo! Well done, Matt. Well done, Matt. Well done indeed. And how are you all? How are you all? I hope you're well. Is it attached to you, Sonia? Is what? Ooh. No, it's not a tea light, actually. It's actually a bulb. It's actually a bulb in there. Yeah, isn't it lovely? We love it. Thank you, Marcuson. I appreciate that. Be talking a bit more about that at the end of the show. Multitasking, making breakfast and listening. Happy Friday, says Jenny from the block. Morning, beautiful people, says Emma. Yes, Jack's Dreaming is here, and so is Vanessa, and so is Randy. And so is everybody else. Right, let's crack on. We've got so much to get in before 10 a.m. Beautiful, beautiful people. First of all, what on earth is this business with this United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson? I mean, obviously, I'm not going to show the video, but I was quite unprepared for the video, to be frank. I mean, I shouldn't have been because there were captions all around it. But when I saw it, I was like quite shocked. If you don't know, the CEO of United Healthcare, which is a huge insurance healthcare corporation, the CEO, Brian Thompson, was shot in the back outside of the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan early on Wednesday morning. Here's Brian Thompson. And images have been shared by officers, police officers, that show the suspect inside a Starbucks prior to the shooting and making his escape on bike. It's very weird. It's so very, very weird, this whole story. Let me just show you the suspects. It makes no darn sense. He's literally like showing himself. Smiling assassin, right? Smiling assassin. So I bet our viewers have plenty of theories about what has taken place there. At the moment, police are still looking for the unidentified killer. He can't be unidentified for long. If you know this man, you would recognize him from this picture. And he shot Thompson 50, as I say, outside the Hilton Hotel. And there's lots of theories circulating online. As I say, the gunman still remains at loose. Authorities have launched a full-scale manhunt to find the assailant. I seen he caught the bullets. There's been a lot of these weird shootings, accidents, etc. lately, said Jackie. Could be a girl. Actually, Soul Sound, it could be a girl. Elena, these are all good points. That literally could be a girl in that image. You're absolutely right. I hadn't considered that. You're absolutely right. There's a newly appointed police commissioner, Jessica Tisch, said the shooter appeared to be lying in wait for several minutes before approaching Thompson. That shooter knew Thompson was going to be there, 100%, right? Authorities have found a phone and a water bottle near the scene of crime that they believe is the one bought from Starbucks and could offer them DNA. Yeah, you think these people? You're not messing around with these New York cops, right? They really know what's going on. The officer said many people passed the suspect, so they're saying even though our viewers have rightly pointed out that literally could be a female, but he appeared to wait for his intended target and said that it did not appear to be a random act of violence. What we do know is United is the biggest health insurer by market share in America. They have been the subject of a lot of protests recently for allegedly systematically denying care for patients, including some of the most vulnerable. Company made headlines in February. It was subjected to a cyber attack, which cost them $872 million. We've heard from Thompson's wife, Paulette, that her husband had been receiving some threats before his trip to New York. And also, Thompson was being investigated by the Department of Justice for antitrust violations and was accused of insider trading. So there is so much more going on here than we actually know. And but that was an execution in almost broad daylight. It was literally just before the lights came up. It could be another distraction, Maze. It absolutely could, because it's so bizarre, right? London Lady said the burner phone was called when Thompson left the other hotel, right? Yes, that's true. That's live. He did shoot up the company ladder pretty rapid. And over that pandemic period, used and discarded, one would have to question what on earth is going on. Good day all, says the Blue Nomad. Yes, indeed. And the thing is that ultimately, it could be one of many things, couldn't it? It could be somebody who's just angry that their loved one died because they didn't get the health care that they'd already paid for from his company. Or it could be, somebody who's been hired to take him out. I mean, that looked like a professional hit to me. That person seemed to know what they were doing, except they're showing their faces all over the place. All over the place. Brompton at hand. Oh, it's possible to get on your bike. And that, I think, is key. PTC makes me ask how many family members have died because the insurance they paid for years and years didn't pay out. Money makes evil humans, I'm afraid. Yeah, and it makes people so angry they want to exact revenge. That's Live said, this is a hoax. Oh, no. Saying hello to hoax, because hoax is in the house. Forgive me. Right, I want to move on because we have got no time. I haven't got any guests today. I simply didn't have time for them. But Monday, we're back as normal, 3 guests and back to our usual time. Right. I'm really annoyed that just 16 MPs attended the debate on disability rights days after hundreds were in the chambers to vote for assisted suicide. I'm so sick of these people. So sick of them. 16 MPs there to defend the disabled, the sick and disabled, but a full house when it comes to taking them out. What does that say about these people? I think we all know what it says about these people. Okay? I think we all know indeed. Useless MPs, says Sarah. Shug is actually surprised there were as many as 16. Yes, indeed. Same Shug. And as I say, I'm very sorry that it's such a short one. And really, I didn't actually have time to do today's show at all. But you know what? I thought I have to. That is my Monday and Friday family. I have to show up and I have to say hello and I have to be there because we need to come together at least twice a week. And in the new year, it will be 3 times a week. Yes, 3 months in the planning of your mission. Hope it's not impossible, Cavan. No, let's hope not. It's Mercury retrograde at the moment. All manner of things are happening. Yeah, we all know what it's about, sadly. We do. They're trying to take pip off people. All of the game show, causing misery. We have to rise above it all. Yes, we do. Jacqueline. Wait, Jacqueline. Is it Jacqueline from Paris? Because I've got an image that you sent me, Jacqueline. Right. The next pandemic, of course, arriving on platform 9 is bird flu. We know this because the UK Health Agency has purchased 5 million vaccines to stockpile. And let me see what it says here. So the purchase will boost the UK's access to vaccines for a wider range of pathogens of pandemic potential, says the official government press release. The UK government has agreed to a contract. You have to wonder who. I mean, I'm already preparing to file an FOI on this because I want to know who ordered them and what their associations are. You have to bear in mind that a lot of time when it comes to our health, government ministers and Whitehall lackeys are absolutely up to their necks in links to private healthcare companies. And I know this because 10 years ago, got a cough. And I know this because 10 years ago when they were working on privatizing the NHS, some research was done, which I drew upon, and that research clearly showed that over 300 Lords and MPs who were voting on healthcare reforms had links to private healthcare companies. So when somebody or some department is ordering 5 million bird flu vaccines for what? One has to question why. We also what happened during C-19, right? Their mates were getting sorted out. Okay, we, with our taxpayer money, were buying PPE that didn't fit, that wasn't fit for purpose. And their mates, lords and ladies, and their mates, including Matt Hancock's local pub landlord, were getting sorted out, right? So I've prepared an FOI because I want to know who agreed to this. All I've got is a quote, which is from Dr. Meera Chand, who is the emerging infection lead at the UK Health Security Agency, said it is important for us to be prepared against a range of different influenza viruses that may pose human health risks. Early access to vaccines saves lives. Adding H5 vaccines to the interventions already available to us will help us to be ready for a wide range of threats. Well, I don't know about you, but do you remember the last time they tried to get us on the bird flu? It was a hoax. I mean, it was exposed by Channel 4 News. Okay. Take it easy and release that anger safely. Don't let it eat you up. I don't know who's angry. Don't be angry. Everything's going to be fine. We got this. Yes, we have. Hello. The silence is in the house. Grand rising, sir. And Crazy Bunny, I have a mad video of yours, but I'm going to have to play it on Monday because I've got to download it. But it's absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant to have our Crazy Bunny back in the house. I found out my MP voted against the assisted dying bill. Give us his name. Give us his name, Jenny. Let's give him a shout out. I don't think they can pull it off again. Anything again, says Markuson. Well, we'd like to think so, right? And so the UK Health Agency, we are told in their lovely press release, actively monitors for human cases of avian influenza, surveillances, captive and wild birds and animals. Are you still registering your one chicken for these people? That was all the lead up to it, wasn't it? Kath said winter months are loved by the depopulationists. They certainly are. Funny how they put the words health with security. Yes, question everything. Absolutely. Indeed. Yes, still here. Had mega family drama and lost my creative mojo, but still here, said Jack Streaming. Welcome back. Stephen doesn't eat poultry. No, I don't either, but I do buy it for my dog because I don't believe that you should make animals vegan. Certainly not my dog. She's not having it. So I actually do buy chicken for her. Oh my God, you're right. I still have that blimmin'. Oh God, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. One of those. Thank you, Soul Sand. Appreciate that. Sorry, don't know what that was about. Left that up. Right. And let us move on to this Bovaer story because I think Shug has a point. We have to be careful because obviously they're trying to get rid of cows. We know that. This is a good way into it. But there's lots of other things that are going on around it. And we have to be really clear about this. And Ian Harris left a message in our comments on Monday saying, I have written to every CEO of those organizations now using Bovaer to say, 1, climate change is poor science with data. And 2, I am boycotting their products. This includes Cadbury, who are using the stuff. In the meantime, my local farm is now providing my milk and it's gorgeous. Yeah. Blue Nomad, we've had Bovaer way longer than just recent times as well. Blue Nomad is pointing out they have Bovaer in France since January at least. Yes, Mels, they announced the fat jab coming down the line and it was promoted, wasn't it, by the Daily Mail, by Jenny Murray, who's always been obese, and she's now promoting the fat jab. And Sarah Vine, who was married to Michael Gove, and also Alison Pearson, oddly, was promoting the fat jab. And there's no decent long-term data, and it's really problematic what they're pushing. Meat is very important for our health, says, who's that? Who says that? Maze Maz. Well, there are alternatives, but I'm not here to convert anybody. I think we just have to live our life. Yes, Brett, not Cadbury. Which jab, Sonia? Which jab are we talking about? Which jab? Arla Supply. Yeah, let me put this on screen. This will be useful. This is an Arla list. Full list of companies shoppers have threatened to boycott. So the brands obviously are Arla Foods. This includes the sub-brands such as Arla Cravendale, Arla Bob, Arla Protein, Arlo Lacto Free, and Arlo Organic. Now, this is important because we keep being told by the Soil Association that organic products cannot have Arla. And yet they are. Right, Kevin, let me explain Arla to you. Okay, so basically, Arla is the company, but Bovaer is the compound that is used, that is being put in cows' feeds to apparently stop them from being flatulent, right, in order to save the climate. Bovaer is actually a compound rather. It's made of silicon dioxide. They actually shorten it to the 3 NOPs because the words are impossibly long, right? But there's a lot of concerns online about it, about the additive, and not least because it seems to have just slipped into the supply chain without any of us being aware of it. And also because there's already a great deal of information about how this compound should be handled carefully, and not least by the FDA. The FDA in the US reads that the product is not actually for human use. And now we've seen that this week, right? We've seen there's been a whole bundle of sweets and crisps that have made it onto British shelves that actually haven't been approved for use, but are available for use in the US, because obviously we have different conditions. But here's the thing. If a product is not ruled safe for use in one country, then we should consider that it's not safe for use in any country. Any country. Arla, of course, have come out fighting. In a statement, they assured the public that provided it is used as recommended, Bovaer never enters into milk and therefore does not reach consumers. Really? They're telling us a product that's given in cow feed never enters the milk. That's just ridiculous. They're just trying to gaslight us. And there are a lot of concerns online, but I see that the Sunday Times are out there batting with their science correspondent, like completely demonizing people online, tinfoil hat wearers. We had all this during C19, mate. We know the deal. So anyway, back to this list, okay? Lurpak, sorry, lots of people love Lurpak. That's off. Then you have brands who have partnerships with Arla Foods, Starbucks, Marks and Spencer, McDonald's, Eco Milk, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, Morrison's, Aldi, Lidl, Waitrose, Co-op, and Iceland. Pretty much all of them. Pretty much all of the chains. Safe and effective, says Stella. Yeah, hi all. TD is here. What's this about Arla promoting Breakfast Club for children? That is a revelation by UNN. Well done to them. And what the UNN, Unity News Network, discovered was that King Charles is kindly, apparently, contributing to breakfast clubs in England. Now, the breakfast clubs I'm completely opposed to. This, again, is separating child from family and making the state the parent and pushing the parents out to work even earlier. And the breakfast clubs is the children go and have breakfast before the start of school. And actually, they're being fed this Arla milk. And it is, and what UNN pointed out, more power to your elbow, kids, was that the royal family and their children have always drank raw milk, not pasteurized. Okay, they have their own cows, they drink raw milk, just like that. But they're pushing this. Everything needs to be in a club, it seems. Goats are funny, though. Well, we're talking about goats. Yep, the timing couldn't be better for the climate dopes. I'm very suspicious, and we have to be careful. And lovely John from Norwich said, great news. BBC Verify have done a deep dive into the Arla cow feed additive. They've spoken to experts, and apparently it's all totally safe. Apparently it's all totally safe. Of course it's all totally safe, right? And John goes on to say, and also has the benefit of saving the planet from farting cows. And John said, until I read this article, I've been waking up at night worrying about cow fart emissions, but now my mind is completely at rest. Of course, the BBC have ruled it safe. Their fact-checking is not worth the paper it's printed on. Yes, possibly. How much information do you need? Yes, possibly. People, please. BBC Verify is just laughable, says Peter. It certainly is. Safe and effective, says Shalini. Well, then I have wings and can fly. FFS. It's non-stop, hitting us from all directions. Jax, it is. And that's why we have to be on top of it constantly. And we are. But this is all about Nut Zero, obviously. And also don't forget pet feed as well, because if you're buying animal food that includes beef products, then it may well have the Bovaer Arla product in it. So just to say, look out for your animals as well. Always do the opposite of what the BBC tell you. This is sterling advice, Jack. Absolute sterling advice. Some of the best. I like it very, very much. So, but I do think that we have to take into account what is being said. But I know that somebody made a comment earlier about a 10 million factory or something that involves, and I haven't had time to look into that, but I will look into that. But what is really disturbing me is that the National Farmers Union are clearly stating that Bovaer use between companies is a trial to provide evidence. So the National Farmers Union appears to be happy that this has been introduced into the food chain and people are guinea pigs. That's the National Farmers Union for you. Pretty awful. Whole new meaning to wind farm, says Cavan. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, I'm speeding through it all. I am, so that I make sure that we get it all. Right. Can I just say big boo to Lansdowne Hall in Stroud. Lansdowne Hall, actually, I come from close to there. I was born in Cirencester. It's only like 10 miles down the road from Stroud. And Stroud has always been known as a place of very awake people. Well, they're so awake, they're fast asleep because they have cancelled a screening of Andy Wakefield's Protocol 7. And I don't know if you remember a couple of months back, but I hosted the Q&A for the first UK premiere of Protocol 7, Andy Wakefield's film, for the World Council for Health, who are running these screenings. And the Lansdowne Hall in Stroud sent an email to the World Council for Health saying, at the last board meeting, the trustees discussed the film screening and took the decision not to allow it to be shown here at the hall. No reason was given. I'll tell you what the reason is. You're cowards. You're actually cowards. And I always literally thought that growing up, that Stroud was one of those places, you know, was kind of like ahead of the curve. They're not at all. They're not at all. No need to boycott dairy. Just buy direct from dairy farmers. Home of Extinction Rebellion. They are fake awake people, Jack. And Jack knows because she comes from my hometown. We know this. Yeah, my uncle, a Catholic priest, went to an alcohol detox for priests in Stroud. That's quite a lot going on there. No, Emma, we don't stop consuming. We go to suppliers and farmers who don't use the poison. They are trying to get us to stop eating meat and milk products because they're pushing their lab-made Meat products. Blue nomad, there could be something in that because we have to. The thing is, you and I know that for the most part, it doesn't get out in mainstream media unless they want it to. And something has taken place here that they have decided that they want this. Now, it could well be that it is a competing a competition to Arla that has leaked this information. Who knows? But it's literally in plain sight. You just have to look on the back of packs and it says Arla. And if it says Arla, then it's got the product in. And it's there. They've not been hiding it from us. But the problem is that most people don't read packaging. And that includes myself. And we have to. And the Awake, May says, I live in Stroud and the Awake are constantly being attacked by the woke. Very sad. Absolutely. Right there. Fear. It's a false flag. It's obvious, says Emma. It's a false flag. And it could well be. And let's not rule it out because honestly, what we do around here is we also question all narratives, and even the ones that are being fed at us, just like that. We question them as much as we humanly can because we need to, don't we? We really need to. Yes, we do. Yes, Randy, cow milk is actually for the carbs. It actually is. Stephen said, was Clarkson saying that? Why would he say that? Mel said, off guard, you raised the same question this week. Are we being played again? And we have to ask that. Trevor, yeah. Remember Dolly the sheep? Wasn't Dolly the sheep the cloned sheep? Right? Sick. Why are they cloning sheep? But that's a good point. Because that was all obviously leading to where we are now, right? If they can clone it, exactly how did this Arla thing become viral? And that in itself is really curious, right? It's gone so viral, right? And it basically took what appeared to be one article and it's all over the place. And that is how information spreads. And we need to know why. But just to go back to this place in Stroud, Yabu sucks to you, Lansdowne Hall. Shame on you. Shame on you. Yes, they clone humans. What's that, Randy? Dolly was cloned. That's right. Is the milk something designed to destroy the dairy industry? It could well be. It could well be. There's lots wrong with the dairy industry, right? I'm not going to give a lecture here, but there is lots wrong with it. No doubt about it. And there could be so much better ethical farming that takes place. And maybe this is an opportunity for people to reevaluate where they spend their money and how. Because the supermarkets are not your friends when it comes to meat or dairy products. That much I can tell you. Hidden in the silence said, this is an interesting thought. Are they going to tell mothers that their milk is no longer healthy for babies? Goodness me. Poisoning anything nutritious. Dolly lived for about a year, says Free Steam. Is that right? Won't this drive people to buy directly from farmers? Yes, HK. And if there is a solution, that has to be it. It wasn't Dolly, it was a human, the sheep. Marcus, you're confusing me. If they can clone a sheep 20 years ago, don't you think they can clone humans today? Yes. It was a long time ago, wasn't it? Frankensteins. George is not impressed at all. Not impressed at all. And you know what else is not going to impress you, George? I bet you I can guarantee it. Take a look at this man. Mayor Sadiq Khan, he of the C40 Cities co-chair. C40 Cities, of course, job is to create smart cities. And he's heading it up. And we are now being told that he is set to receive a knighthood in the New Year honours. This is what Whitehall insiders have leaked to the national press. He'll receive his award for political and public service after almost 2 decades in frontline politics. And he was previously a Labour MP. He became the first Muslim mayor of our capital city in 2016 and was re-elected for a 3rd term this year. And he's horrible. I detest the man. I've doorstepped him several times. He's just horrible. And he spent £6.3 million on renaming overground train lines, which was launched, I think, last week. And absolutely ridiculous. And he renamed them as Lioness. I have no objection to that, being a lioness myself, but £6 million. Come on, people. How can it cost £6 million to rename these lines? Lioness, Mildmay, Windrush, Weaver, Suffragette and Liberty, and given new colours. And of course, it's been branded predictable, woke, liberal nonsense, because if Sadiq Khan is anything, he is woke, liberal nonsense. But he's so much more than that. Oh, yes, he is. But I want to look at the other people who are also selected here, because I know everybody is focusing on how abhorrent he is and why is he getting it, but there are other people on this list that are highly questionable. So let's just look at him for a little bit. Of course, as I say, he's the co-chair of C40 Cities. He declared a climate emergency. He literally did. He's described it as one of the biggest threats we face today. He's set an ambition for London to be net zero by 2030. There's that year again. He has also committed to a Green New Deal for London and to ensuring that there is a just transition in the capital from fossil fuel intensive industries to climate solutions. Well, climate solutions, as we know, are bunkum. It's a lie. The people who are invested in the green industries are the biggest supporters of it. Okay, it's a lie. A knighthood or any such award is no compliment, just the opposite. In like-minded company, yes, it's compliance. They gave Blair a knighthood, said Stephen All. Arise, Sir Khan, says blind hip shaker. So, of course, he beat his Tory candidate, Tory rival in the London elections this May. He received, shocking, 1,088,000 votes. He had a majority of nearly 276,000 compared to 812,000 for Susan Hall. In his victory interview, he said he was excited by the prospect of working with Keir Starmer and his cabinet. And so basically what now needs to happen is that this knighthood now needs to get signed off by Sausage Fingers Charles and Keir Starmer, which will happen. It's not a problem. Literally, Sadiq Khan ticks all the boxes, right? Absolutely ticks all the boxes. And I don't mean that in any derogatory way. He just simply does. And he's, I mean, when it's like Women's Day, as one example, International Women's Day, he will tweet about trans-identified males. That's what he'll do. He's constantly doing an up yours to actual women. He's a horrible man. He hates us. He hates us. If voting made any difference, they wouldn't let us do it, said Jack. And that's a point. That is it. Khan has been very hateful of people who he doesn't agree with. Not suitable for office, says John from Coventry. Absolutely. And before, this is what I want to say about this. So the other people who have been mentioned for this is rather to be made a damehood is Labour MP Emily Thornberry. Well, she's just horrible. She's horrible. Do you remember when Emily Thornberry made fun of people in white vans, right? They have an absolute class hatred of working class people. And she made some horrible joke about people in white vans. I don't hate them. I loathe these people. They are literally dividing us. But here's the one that I have the most objection about, and that is Patricia Hewitt. You know who Patricia Hewitt is? Well, Patricia Hewitt is a former Labour MP. Patricia Hewitt used to be the General Secretary of the National Council for Civil Liberties in the 1970s. And she, along with Harriet Harman, also a former Labour MP, supported the Paedophile Information Exchange. The two organisations, the NCCL and the Paedophile Information Exchange, were affiliated for 8 years from 1975 to 1983. And both Hewitt and Harman came out many years later when they were busted on this, because first of all, the Paedophile Information Exchange, the job of PI was to not only legitimise child abuse, but it was also funded by the Home Office. And now Patricia Hewitt is up to be made a dame. Yes, absolutely. Of course, many years later when she was busted, she was like, I got it wrong on Pi and I apologize for having done so. NCCL in the 1970s, along with many others, was naive and wrong to accept Pi's claim to be a campaigning and counselling organisation that does not promote unlawful acts. Well, here's the thing. In the 1970s, it was still unlawful to be a pedo, right? What's she talking about? And also, there are some things where the climate has changed, right? Such as our language, for example. But the climate has not changed so much from the 1970s that it was legal back then to be a pedo. No, right? We even knew. I was a kid in the 70s. We all knew that pedos were a problem. And these two adults, these two educated adults, didn't seem to think there was a problem. Why is that? Why is that? Anyway, Hewitt is up for a damehood. I really object to these people doing it. I really do. But sources say that Hewitt will be recognised for services to health as opposed to services to children, presumably. And before anything is finalised, as I say, the draft document of the honours list must be signed off by Sir Keir Starmer and King Charles III. It's just a technicality. They'll be signing them off. It's a big club, and I thank God I'm not in it, said Judith. Not wasting any of my good energy on these things on the honours list. Absolutely. Sounds like a bit of a cover-up, says Simon. What a name for such evil. Yes, it's horrible, horrible people. No, actually, that wasn't the right Janet that I had. Janet from Paris. Janet from Paris. A good morning from Paris. Let me find Janet's image. Here it is. Look at this. This was last Friday. Busy, busy, busy sky. Isn't it? Quite dramatic, I think. What are your thoughts, commenters? What are your thoughts? Jackie, not sure, would not surprise me. Shug said, because they're not actually human and despise us with a passion, they target children as they are the innocent. Yeah, Humphrey. It will never be accepted by the normies or conspiracy theorists or any of us. No, it won't. Anyway, this is Janet's. Good morning from Paris. Good morning to you in Paris, lovely Janet. Yes, good morning to you. And Spencer, whose video I didn't manage to play on Monday, but I'm going to now. Are we ready for it, people? Let's have a good look at Spencer's video. He said, hi, Sonia. So he'd attached this. The second one, very unusual. He said, very unusual flight formation of two planes, if indeed that's what they really are. Sorry, I couldn't get them to you sooner. No problem. 17th of November. We're ready to have a look at this because I think it's quite interesting. Ready? Oh, is that coming on? Spencer, it didn't want to come on. Spencer, your video is not coming on. Let me see. Try it again. No, how odd. Let me try uploading it again, Spencer, see if it will do it. It's literally programmed in and refusing to come on. But we're going to try our best, right? Let's just see if I can try it again. Let me try this. There we go. This is curious, I think. So they're clearly emitting different things, aren't they? Because the top one, that trail is dissipating practically as soon as it's flying, whereas the bottom one is not. Buffering. Yep, not now, Trev. We've sorted it out. One is a contrail, one is not. Exactly, MB. I agree with that. I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's right. And see all this business. The reason I want to talk about this because I think it's really ridiculous. This whole rainbow Refuseniks business. So what we've had is footballers are being forced to do this rainbow laces thing, right? Now, we've seen this over the years, okay? This political activism that is hijacking sports. Now, me personally, I believe we should remove all political activism from sport. It has no place there. It's a hijack by focus groups. That's what it is, okay? And the reality is, who watches sport to have politics shoved down their throats? Nobody does. Nobody does. And I want to say solidarity to the players who are refusing to wear these rainbow armbands. One actually put, Mark Gui, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's a devout Christian. He wrote, I love Jesus over his rainbow armband at the weekend. Got into trouble for it until it emerged that another player, a Muslim player, had also refused to wear the armbands. And now they're having to look at it because the left are now in crisis. That's two focus groups that are competing for attention, LGBT and Muslims. So now the left are in crisis. What should they do? How can they possibly balance this up? John is gay and sees the flags as a cult symbol. It's showing support for an ideology, not gay people. MB said it's good to see the pushback and the clubs back in their decisions. Yes. Shug would flat out refuse to play. Yeah, Matt Khan. Who's Matt Khan? Is he a manager? I tell you who else was bad-mouthing them. Matt Lucas, who looks like he's been through the Ozempic treatment. Now, Matt Lucas, obviously, long-term collaborator with the eternally creepy David Walliams. And they obviously had the very popular, what was it called? Britain. or England? Please remind me in the comments. Sorry, I thought I'd posted Matt Lucas. Oh, it is Matt Lucas. So Matt Lucas, obviously openly gay, and he's hit out at the players. And what he said, let me see if I can find his quote, 'cause it made me sick. Little Britain. Thank you, Jacqueline. You guys are brilliant. You guys are the best. And what he said was that, let me find his quote. Can I find his quote? Yeah. If you're a player and that offends you less than wearing a rainbow coloured armband for a couple of matches, then maybe you're part of the problem. No, Matt, you're part of the problem. Because Little Britain had so many stereotypes, foul, disgusting stereotypes of different nationalities, of women, of children, of disabled people. And yet this man, Matt Lucas, who, as I say, has obviously been through the Ozempic treatment, thinks that he can come out and force footballers to wear these armbands. Ridiculous. Yes, that's right, Julie. I think so too. Yes, Jax. Little Britain with that weirdo David Walliams. Do you remember how many filthy stereotypes they set up? And yet Matt Lucas is like, oh, if you don't wear it, you're not a proper gay ally and you're part of the problem. No, Matt, you're part of the problem. We're all sick of you people. Yes, the rainbow flag represents peace once upon a time. It did. Bitty. Exactly, Crazy Bunny. That was disgusting. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Anyway, solidarity to you. There's Morsey, who has refused to wear the armband. Gooey, I'm sure I'm not pronouncing these names right. They're all foreign names. As written over his, as I say, about Jesus. And Mazroi chose not to wear a jacket, which spilled over into the midweek features. So bit by bit, more and more people are taking a stand, as it were. Because remember when they were forced to take a knee, right? And it doesn't help when you have captains. Sport is about sport. It's literally bombarded with all of these ridiculous messages. And I honestly think that most people are absolutely sick of it. And the man, the player who wrote I Love Jesus on it, his father is actually a church minister and has since accused the FA of double standards because he says Muslim player Morsi, who refused to wear the armband, was not punished like his son. And that's what I say. The left are literally eating itself now. It can't cope. It's like a Muslim player says he doesn't want to wear it. So we're stuck now. What are we going to do? Matt Gooey is English. Forgive me, says Ash Potter is not asking for forgiveness. I am. Forgive me. I'm not up on these players. The UK does have a mental problem, says Cameron. Trump will sort out this BS, or will he? Says Craig. And then Rich said not English. Have a scrap amongst yourselves. Right. And make the Pride and Islam lot share the same month together. Matters. I love that quote. That is hilarious. Oh my God, your dog looks a bit like mine. Bit like my crazy street dog. Yeah, what about the stereotype of black women in Little Britain? Yeah, Stephen, they don't care about that, do they? These people, they don't care about that. It's only when it comes to their own beloved LGBT stuff. Yeah. I think this is true. Oh ho, hit the like. Oh no, wait, I got that wrong. Sorry, Solzan. I think the men are afraid to speak out, the football supporters. Exactly. Jack, what happened? What are you laughing at? What did I just say? I can't remember anything this morning. It's one of those days. I want to show this video because I meant to show this when I was just cussing off Lansdowne Hall. I don't know if I ever played this to you. This was when I was doing the Q&A with Andy Wakefield. And if you can just hear his comment here, I think it's a really good one because it's about free speech. The question he's been asked is, when is this all going to break through? When are people going to understand what we're saying here? And hear what he has to say.
In this field for as long as I've 30 years plus now, you realise that things have actually changed dramatically and will continue to change as long as there is free speech.
He said, when you realise that things have been changing continually and will continue to change as long as there is free speech. Well, of course, we all know what the target is for the globalist shills. It's our free speech. Yeah. No opinion is a good opinion at the moment unless it hits mainstream media's narrative, says Lisa. Have to agree with her. HK said, football has been demasculated for years. Look at all those man buns. Not impressed then. Claire was in the fire service. LB wants to know what is British these days. Good question. What is? And Markson says, Wakefield is a something legend. What's this, Ant? I'm really struggling with this opposite land nonsense. Everything is broken and people are so blind. Taking MSM news seriously will give you mental health issues, says total utter nutter. I keep saying it, but they won't stop until they've stopped. Free speech is only allowed on the internet. Is it, though? That's the thing. They're getting rid of it, aren't they? Which is horrible. Also, a shout out to Sean Parker. Sean Parker has been a guest on this show. And Sean is many things. He's a commentator. He's an artist. This is his 10th book, Court Painter to the Counterculture. It's his first pure art book. And actually, the image on the right, my right, might be your left, is me. Yes, Sean did that of me. He's captured people in his book, including Oscar Wilde, George Orwell, me, Dan Wood, and a whole pile of other commentators. I'm very honoured to have been included. Thank you so much, Sean. And Sean holds an MA in Fine Art from the University of the Creative Arts. He has a portrait shown at the South Bank at the moment. This book is now available. For a limited time, publishers, the Snap Collective, require a certain number of pre-orders. So I hope that the pre-orders have been fulfilled. I will put a link in the description to this book. And also, keep sending me your small businesses, or, because not everybody has a massive book deal. I'm not saying that Sean has a massive book deal here. Not at all. That's why I'm promoting him. Not everybody is able to get a massive book deal. So if you have a book that needs publishing and it's worthy, and you're worthy, and what you've stood up to be counted, then let me know. And I will give it a plug. I promise I will. So congratulations, Sean, on the publishing of your book, Court Painter to the Counterculture. Yes. And poor Lucy Letby. I have to say poor Lucy Letby now. Some people aren't going to like it. I am aware that she is a convicted murderer. 7 babies that she's been convicted of, and 7 attempted murders of babies that she's also been convicted of. But now they're back on her. They are absolutely determined to keep her in prison forever and a day. Yes, they are. And the police have been in talking to her again. They are trying to, it would appear, hang more baby deaths on her. And it's interesting because I've never, in 30 years of journalism, I've never seen so many people in good positions come out and say there is a potential miscarriage of justice here, as people have done with the Lucy Letby case. And isn't it interesting that there are all these people who are coming out, and high profile people, and now suddenly the police have interviewed her again under caution. And she voluntarily attended a police interview. She was not arrested. She continues to maintain her innocence regarding the convictions and potential further convictions. Cheshire Constabulary will not say when they interviewed her. They said it was fairly recently. She, of course, is a former neonatal nurse. She worked at the Countess of Chester Hospital, and they are now interviewing her over deaths at the Countess of Chester Hospital and the other place that she worked, Liverpool Women's Hospital. They are determined to get her. Yes, again, Simon. Yes, they are absolutely determined to get her. Barrister Mark MacDonald said the police have been briefing about further inquiries for over a year. Any allegations need to be taken seriously. So we are only surprised by the timing of this new leak from the police. Goes back to what I said, and that is we don't know about it unless they, whoever they are in this case, the police, want us to know about it. Yes, Humphrey, definitely a fall guy, says Kath. Check the date. 3/7. Lady Justice is not blind. And I'm here to tell you that, Craig. Corrupt British judicial system. Not always, George. Not always. Of course, the Thirlwell inquiry is ongoing at the moment at Liverpool Town Hall. And the Thirlwell inquiry has very narrow terms of reference. And Lucy's crimes and the implications for the NHS are currently being examined at the Thirlwell inquiry. The lead consultant who originally raised the alarm about Lucy, Dr. Stephen Breary, told the inquiry at Liverpool Town Hall, on reflection, I think it's likely that Letby didn't start to become a killer in June 2015 or didn't start harming babies in 2015. I think that consultants who gang up need also to be investigated. That's what I think. I literally think that this one is a fall. I think she's a fall guy, as they say. She's been denied permission to appeal. She's twice been denied permission to appeal. And as I say, a number of experts have challenged the medical evidence used to convict her. And not just like medical experts, statisticians, lawyers. It would appear that poor Lucy didn't have a decent defense. Like, who was actually who were the defense actually representing? Okay, there were so many problems with that conviction. So many problems. What's going on? What's going on? We should try and comprehend how important public image, oh, that was a good one, but I missed it, is to hospital trust boards. Absolutely. She is totally dependent on her lawyers. Very frightening. I don't know whether she is guilty, but she is very vulnerable, says Katie. And that is a reality. We don't know. Although many people absolutely say she is not guilty, that the evidence now in her favor far outweighs the evidence to convict her. And in fact, bear in mind, there is no evidence to convict her. It's all circumstantial. Nobody saw her do anything. They're all making claims about her. But it's very convenient. This picture, I've used this picture because I think it's an important picture. This is obviously where she's being arrested. Just imagine if this woman here is innocent. What have they done to her? What have they done to her? That's why we have to be a voice for her. That's what I feel. I feel we have to be a voice for her. And shows like ours have to be a voice for Lucy Letby. I've received a stack of emails about Lucy Letby, and I will be doing a new proper update shortly, bringing in a new guest. If there's anybody in particular you would like me to talk to regarding Lucy Letby, do let me know. Do let me know. Can you believe we're almost at the end of our show? Yes, we're almost at the end of our show. It's been a quick one, but thank you for being here regardless. And I just want to say, obviously, thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody for everything. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for being here in the live chat. Thank you for commenting after the show. Thank you for watching on Catch Up. And I want to end today on something that I think is really important. And that is, I don't know who needs to hear this, but here goes. Stop comparing yourself with anyone else. Your only competition is yourself. Oh, yes, it is. Comparing is a horrible pastime that many are obsessed with doing. That's what a lot of scrolling on Instagram and similar apps is all about. If the scrollers are not comparing themselves to others, they are comparing others to each other. It's a never-ending spiral of comparison toxicity, and it's based on a lie. These impossibly perfect people that we see on social media only put out their best. They are often nip and tucked and photoshopped to within an inch of their lives and presented to us as if we have to keep up with them. We don't. And if people knew the actual truth about what was really going on behind the camera, most wouldn't want to. Comparison, as the saying goes, is the thief of joy, and it absolutely is. I try not to get engaged with comparing because it's not just a thief of joy, it's a thief of creativity, and it's a thief of peace of mind, right? As I say, for me, absolutely, my only competition is myself. I am not interested in what another podcaster is doing. What am I doing? Am I doing the right thing by our viewers? Are we increasing the viewership? Yes, yes, yes. I hope on all accounts. Yes, we are. So the problem, of course, about comparisons is the devastating impact it has on you. So I just want to break down a little bit about that. First of all, it will decrease your self-esteem. When you start comparing yourself to others, you will just be bombarded with such negative self-talk. It will damage your confidence. It will make you doubt who you are and your worthiness in this world. Stop doing it. Catch yourself doing it and stop doing it. And it'll also increase, if you're struggling with mental health issues, it will make them a whole lot worse. It really will. Comparison can lead to all manner of things, right? It can lead to anxiety, depression, and eating disorders as well. Stop comparing. Creates unnecessary stress and resentment. You don't need that. You're worth so much more than that. You are. Breary and Singh. Oh, Jack is talking about Lucy. Yeah, Lucy cleaning up the consultant's mess. Got the blame. Got you. And also, when you're comparing, you are actually missing out on the present. Don't miss out on the present. You know what they say, right? And that is the present is a gift, right? That's why it's called the present, right? That's what they say. It's really unhealthy behavior, comparison, and it's worthless. It doesn't amount to a hill of beans because often, as I say, you are comparing yourself to an illusion, something that simply doesn't exist. And while you're busy comparing yourself, you're not busy getting on with what you need to do in order to be able to fulfill your earthly mission. You have an earthly mission. Don't forget it. We are the good fellows. We are sovereign beings, says Christine. But let's each one examine his own actions, and then he will have cause for rejoicing. This is a Bible quote, right? In regard to himself alone and not in comparison with the other person. I love that, Vanessa. We are groomed to compare with others and be insecure. HK, we really are. I've always said anyone's negative opinion of me is none of my business. says Elaine. Yes, I agree. When people sometimes send me like blogs that say negative things about me, I don't read them. I literally don't read them. It is often left to other people to tell me the contents of them. I love these segments you do at the end of the show. You're very welcome, Jackie. You're very welcome. But the thing is that you are you for a reason. You are here for a reason. And when I studied psychology, it shows how many obstacles there are to a baby actually being born. So birth in itself is an absolute miracle. The time between conception, well, first of all, it's like it's 1 in a million chance or whatever the exact stat is, but it's incredible of conception taking place. Then there are so many things that can happen in utero that the baby cannot be born. So when a baby is born, for me, you are supposed to be in this world and you are unique. There is literally nobody else like you. And that is the thing. If people actually really realize their value and their worth, they'd stop comparing. But I'm here to tell you, stop comparing. You're too good for it. Yes, you are. And you need to focus on your own progress. Celebrate your unique qualities. Please practice self-care. Be extra, extra kind to yourself. Truly, whatever your self-care is. My self-care is nice hot bath. Not too hot. Cold beer by the open fire. Going out for breakfast now. I've been awakened by Sonia, says Blip Blind Hip Shaker. We are here for a lifetime, not a long time. Exactly. Our lifetime. Yes, healing the silence. When you compare yourself, you destroy yourself. Just as well, I'm not doing any longer than 10 because my voice is going again. So yeah, you are everything. Remember that, realize it. Everything that we talk about on here is about the power of you. And you cannot acknowledge the power of you while you are so busy looking at what you perceive as somebody else's power, right? So just to say, remember who you are and go forth, multiply. Keep repeating yourself. And what was that Dolly Parton's quote? And that is that is find out who you are and do it on purpose. A lot of things about Dolly Parton I don't like, particularly her pushing of C19, but I love that quote. Find out who you are and do it on purpose. I adhere to that. And yes, thank you. Sorry again. Really, really short. Yes, Randy, one day you will have a beer with me. We've got 3 minutes left. And I'm just going to say this. I'm about to make a legal statement and ask you not to comment on my legal opponents. And if you do, I am not responsible for it. Here goes. Yesterday, I had a high court win against one of the men I am suing. He had appealed a previous judgment and it failed for a second time. And I was awarded most of my costs, 85% of costs, high. My thanks to Mr. Justice Linden. I am delighted. Details below on my legal page where I've written the whole thing up. And I just want to say I'm so very grateful for that outcome. I'm off on my mission. And thank you all for being here with me today, no matter how short. Mace doesn't want me to quote Dolly. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. I very much appreciate it. And we're in the middle. Yes, I'm coughing. Yeah. Late to the party. Good day, Sonia. Yeah, late to the party. I'm leaving, MK. I'm very sorry. It was a very short show. And just to say, why are you trying so hard to fit in when you were born to stand out? Remember who you are and act on it. Listen, everybody, have a fantastic weekend. I love you so much. I will be back as normal on Monday. We have cleared it with 2 minutes to spare. So I don't know the answer to that. Stella, was Funky Prepper arrested? I've been watching that. I don't know about that. I'm looking at it. Thank you, Craig. Take care all. And of course, I think we're going to have to finish on this, aren't we?
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
You can't handle the truth.
Good morning, beautiful people. We are live.
The sun is rising.
Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for our lovely marketers.
Good morning, grand rising.
And
let's see what's new.
Monday.
It's the time of day for Sonia and crew. Good morning, grand rising. It's time to wake up.
And I
Sonia Poulton.
Yes, Martha, we're out the door today, but I love you all, and I will see you Monday. Take excellent, excellent care of yourself. Love you, people.